I welcome you all once again. It's English P4 Term 1 by Teacher Mandy. And our theme is describing people and objects. I repeat, describing people and objects. And under this theme, we have our topic as describing people. Meaning later, we are going to learn about another topic, and that will be describing objects. For now, our focus will be on describing people. That's our topic. And we're saying people can be described according to different ideas as listed on the chalkboard here. People can be described according to one, size. Yes, you can give us more information about someone basing on their size. You can think of sentences you can construct to give more information or to describe a person just by looking at their size. There are some who are too small, others are medium-sized, others are tall, others are short. So all that is according to size. The other thing you can consider to describe people is height. Height is another idea you can consider when describing people. Then we can still describe people basing on their ways of dressing. Basing on their ways of dressing. For example, some people are very shabby, whereas others are smart. If you look at someone who is not dressed in an appropriate way or in the right way, you can say, Mr. X is shabby today. Mr. X is shabby today. Or Mr. Y is very smart today. You are describing him depending or basing on his way of dressing. That's one of the things you can consider when describing people. The other thing is age. You can describe a person by looking at his age or her age. We have people who are very old. Old people have issues with talking, walking, and doing some other activities. You can describe people basing on their age. For example, let's say Mzee Kijana is very old. I am describing Mzee Kijana using the adjective old with its qualifier, very. Basing on his age, Mzee Kijana is very old. What else can we consider when describing people? We can also consider their beauty. Their beauty. How beautiful, or the opposite of beautiful, which is ugly, or how ugly somebody is. You can base on their beauty to describe them. An example I can give is Madame Teddy is a beautiful woman. Madame Teddy is a beautiful woman. I'm describing her as beautiful, considering the idea of beauty in mind. Lastly, we can consider color to describe people. We can consider color to describe people. An example here is, my teacher is a black man. My teacher is a black man. Some people think there are no black people, but in English we have what we call black people. Others prefer using the adjective dark-skinned to mean black, which is very okay. It's another way of saying it. So you can base on color to describe people. Now, like in any other topic, in English, we always have new words at the beginning of every topic. Why do we have these new words? We have them because they feature a lot in that very topic. From here, you'll see a sentence that you'll need to construct in the future having to use these words. Meaning, you need to master them at the beginning. What do we need to master in the new words or in the vocabulary of every topic? use these very words in other structures that we are going to look at. That's why we need to master them at the very beginning of the topic. We have the new words which we call vocabulary, as you are seeing the heading. Which words are we supposed to master in this topic today? The first one is tall. Then shabby. Shabby. Next, strong. Strong. Ugly. Short. Quiet. Sad. Fat. Thin. Old. Small. Handsome. Allow me underline this D, which is a silent letter in the word handsome. So we write handsome, but we pronounce handsome, skipping D because it's a silent letter in this word handsome. We have the word handsome, then dark-skinned, dark-skinned. Don't forget the hyphen between dark and skinned. It's a hyphenated word. It has a hyphen. This symbol which looks like a subtraction sign in mathematics. In English, it is called a hyphen. H-Y-P-H-E-N. A hyphen. So a word that's written with a hyphen is called a hyphenated word. A hyphenated word. So the word dark-skinned is hyphenated. In other words, it's written with a hyphen between dark and skinned. Skinned is double A. Take note of that. Dark-skinned. Next is smart. Then we have old. When you look at all these words, you'll discover one thing is in common. They are all adjectives. In English, they are called adjectives. They are called adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives, right from P.4, you learned that they are words that are used to describe nouns. Adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns. Now, if we use these words to describe people, we will say we have used them as adjectives. For example, if I talk of my teacher being a tall man, an example is, my teacher is a tall man. Tall is used as an adjective to describe the noun man. To describe the noun man. Now, in our activity, we are going to have two questions here. And number one is, read the above words aloud. Aloud, which is one word, means loudly. Read the above words aloud or loudly. Go back, try practicing them. You can do it with a friend. Maybe you are sitting at home. Call a friend and try reading out these words aloud or loudly as the friend judges you. Next, in our activity is construct meaningful sentences using the words below. Construct meaningful sentences using the words below. Word A, or our very first word, is short. You're going to construct a sentence using short. But, like we have been looking at, like the topic we are looking at, describing people. You're going to be using short to describe somebody. You're going to be using that word short to describe somebody. Question B is, or word B is, fatter. F-A-T-T-E-R. Fatter comes from fat. Fatter comes from fat. Fatter is the comparative of fat. The superlative is fattest. But for today, we are asking you to use fatter in a sentence. You can say, you can use fatter in a sentence that is describing your parents, your brothers, your cousins, and so on and so forth. For example, my cousin is fatter than my brother. That's my sentence. You can come up with yours. My cousin is fatter than my brother. The next word we are going to use to construct a sentence is ugly. Use ugly in a sentence. Remember that sentence must be describing somebody. Some people don't want to be described as ugly. Try it out to describe somebody. You can even be describing yourself. It's very okay. Next is word D, which is strong. Use strong in a sentence. The next one is smart. Try constructing a sentence using smart. I'll give you an example here again. From fatter, where I answered, now E, I am answering using smart in a sentence. You can construct a sentence and say, my elder brother is a smart boy. My elder brother is a smart boy. Try using slow in a sentence. Then use small. Next is the word handsome. Remember we learned how to pronounce it. The teacher has already emphasized that much as we write D in our word handsome, these D's are silent letter. Never pronounce it. Your work is to pronounce handsome. Handsome. So use the word handsome in a sentence. And the last word you're going to use in your sentence is dark-skinned. Try constructing sentences using each of these words as given. From there, allow me to take you to the comprehension part of our lesson today. And this is something not so strange to you. If you have been P1, P2, P3, you're now in P4, you know you can never complete an English paper without coming across a passage. Here we have a passage, and that is comprehension. You read, understand, then you answer according to what you've understood from what you have read. Instructions are key in any section B or any English paper. In fact, instructions are very important. Never despise them. Never underlook them. You need to read and understand the instructions. Our instructions are always underlined. If not underlined, they are indicated in bold letters. We have read the passage below and answer the questions about it in full sentences. Read the passage below and answer the questions about it in full sentences. You're going to follow me as we read this short passage. The passage is supposed to have a title, and in most cases, if a passage is given without a title, just know in one of the questions about it, they must ask you to write the title. So what do we learn today in our lesson 1 of P4? We are learning how to write titles in English. When you look at the title of our passage, you discover one thing. It is written in capital letters. It is written in capital letters. Next, what else do you note? The title has no full stop here. At the end of a title, in a passage, in a poem, in an advert, even in a newspaper, you'll never see a full stop. That's how we write our titles. 1, use capital letters. 2, do not punctuate any title with a full stop. For other punctuation marks, it may be okay to reuse them, but a full stop, never. Never be tempted to write a title with a full stop. Let's read the passage together. I have 2 beautiful cousins. They live in Egypt. Much as they are Africans, their skin color isn't black. One can mistake them for Europeans or Arabs. When they visited us here in Uganda last year in June, our neighbors in the village gazed so much, calling them Americans. However, when they heard them speaking Luganda, They were amazed. Amazed has been underlined. Usually when you come across an underlined word, just know what is going to happen at the end. Someone will ask you, what does that word mean? Another word or group of words to mean the same as the underlined word. That's why they are highlighted by underlining them. Okay. However, when they heard them speak in Luganda, they were amazed. When I asked them why they aren't black, like most Africans, their reply was that their mothers are Arabs. So, they share features of both an African father and Arabian mothers. Oh, one father, African father, and many Arabian mothers. That's okay. That is the reason why they look different from the other Africans. That's the end of our passage. Having read the passage, we have an activity that has questions about the passage. And that should be our next. Let's look at the questions about the passage as we have read it, or as they appear in your booklet. Number one, we have, what is the passage about? What is the passage about? You've got to reread the questions, the passage itself. After reading it, you'll get the answer. Yes? Number two, how many cousins does the writer have? Some will be answering together, others I will leave you to copy right from the passage. Maybe one other important thing I've not yet talked about in comprehension is what we call highlighting. We call it highlighting your answer. When you read the question about the passage, and you know you have the passage in your very booklet or in your question paper, you are advised to take time, get your ruler, geometry set ruler, or that long ruler you normally buy before coming to school. Get your pens as well, go to the passage, underline the very words that show us where you're getting your answer from. How many cousins does the writer have? As a careful child who wants marks, I'll go back to the passage and check which part in the passage shows me where exactly my answer is. I have 2 beautiful cousins. My question is, how many cousins does the writer have? I've already got the answer in line 1. I get my ruler, underline these words. I have 2 beautiful cousins. 2 beautiful cousins. So, what I've done is called highlighting. The moment you do this, the teacher will have what to refer to before marking this answer. Let's show the teacher that we are not forging, we are answering according to what is given in the passage. A person forging will come up with a different answer. You may think of the cousins he or she has at home, and think of answers. The writer has 9 cousins, because you remember you have many cousins, like 9 at home. You'll answer according to what you have, the number of cousins you have at home. But here, very clearly stated in the passage, I have 2 beautiful cousins. And that's what we're supposed to do. Underline your answer, then write it. How many cousins does the writer have? The writer has 2 cousins. This time you're going to forget the word beautiful. Why? It does not feature in the question. The question is clear. It is not about how many cousins the writer has. How many beautiful cousins the writer has. You have underlined 2 beautiful cousins. But here we are asking you, how many cousins does the writer have? The writer has 2 cousins. Hope that has been very clear. Let's go to question 3, which is, where do the cousins live? Still, go back to the passage, read, understand, and get the exact answer to this question. Where do they live? Where do the cousins live? The cousins live in blah blah blah. You'll answer according to what you'll see in the passage. Next is number 4. Why can someone mistake the cousins to be Europeans? Why can someone mistake the cousins to be Europeans? Let's go back together and find out where the answer is. We are going to do what the teacher has been emphasizing, highlighting the answer in the passage. They live in Egypt. Much as they are Africans, their skin color isn't black. One can mistake them for Europeans or Arabs. Remember, the question is, why can someone mistake the cousins to be Europeans? So answer, before you think of what has been written there as the answer, let's check. Their skin color isn't black. Therefore, one can mistake them for Europeans or Arabs. So answer is already clear seen here. I can use these very underlined words to formulate my answer to the question, why can someone mistake the cousins to be Europeans? One can mistake the cousins to be Europeans because, check this, their skin color isn't black. Perfect. It suits our answer. One can mistake the cousins to be Europeans because their skin color isn't black. The way I have done it here is exactly how you should be doing it to answer the questions, as long as the answers are clearly stated in the passage. Highlight them or underline them, then copy them following the way the question has been said. Don't change the tense. Do not change the tense. Number 5. In which month did the cousins visit Uganda? Follow the same steps. Get your ruler, get your pencil. Go back here, highlight or underline where you're getting your answer from, so that when the teacher is marking, he's able to tell, oh, this girl, this boy, got this answer from this paragraph, this line. It will be very easy for the teacher to give you a tick. But I wish you all do that, and you'll be able to get, obviously, 10 out of 10. In which month did the cousins visit Uganda? The month is clearly stated in the passage. Number 6. Do you think the cousins speak Luganda? Do you think the cousins speak Luganda? The answer is either yes or no. Why? If the question begins with a helping verb, helping verbs are words like do, is, were, has, does, had, and many other words. Do, is, are, were, etc. are all helping verbs. When each end of these words is used at the beginning of a question, just understand one thing. That question requires an answer beginning with either yes or no. Take an example of this. Is this room clean? Is this room clean? Your answer beginning with either yes or no. Another one. Has anyone taken away my cups? Has anyone taken away my cups? The answer is either yes or no at the beginning. Then, had you had supper? Let me use eaten. Had you eaten supper? The answer is either yes, I had eaten supper, or no, I had not eaten supper. So these are helping verbs. Whenever a helping verb is used to begin a question, the answer must begin with either yes or no. So, do you think the cousins speak Luganda? From what you read in the passage, when you go back and reread, comprehension, you don't need to hurry. Go slow, check, confirm, then you underline, finally write the answer, and you have your tick. Do you think the cousins speak Luganda? The answer is clearly given there. Read, after understanding, write either yes or no, plus other ones. Okay, this is the example of how you should answer. No, I do not think the cousins speak Luganda. Or yes, I think the cousins speak Luganda. Don't forget to put a comma. To put a comma, I repeat, do not forget to put a comma after yes or after that no, depending on what you're going to see in the passage. And no, a comma comes after a yes or a no. Number 7. Are the mothers of the cousins Ugandans? Are the mothers of the cousins Ugandans? Still, because is among the helping verbs that teacher has been talking about, and is beginning a question, that question must have either a yes or a no. Never forget to put a comma after that yes or no, as long as you are adding some other words. But because in English we emphasize that you answer in full sentences, obviously this one will require that comma. No, blah blah blah, after comma. Then yes, comma, blah blah blah, plus some other words, as you read them in the passage. Number 8. Write another word or group of words to mean amazed. They have given us 2 options. Either another word, which means one word, or a group of words. A group of words can even be 2 words. Group of words. Even 2 words can be a group of words. So amazed. Go check in that passage. You will see the word amazed. Think of other words that mean the same. For me, I'm thinking of very surprised. That's my group of words. However, when they heard them speaking Luganda, they were very surprised. Very correct. It fits in that position. Very surprised. Can be another word, another group of words to mean amazed. Number 9. Write the title for this passage. I began by explaining this. You need to learn how to write titles. And the best example is already given here. One, if you remember how we began, no full stop. And the other thing is strictly capital letters. You write that here. Don't feel shy to write everything in capital letters. That's the exact thing we want here in English in titles. Write the title for this passage. Just write it. Don't tell us, don't answer in full sentence, because they have just told you to write the title for this passage. Just write it. Copy it, write it, and you have passed. Finally, we have question number 10, which is, apart from Europeans, name a category of people whose skin isn't black. Still, check this word, name. You're going to name them. Don't write a full sentence. Just name a category of people whose skin isn't black. According to what you have seen in the passage, just write that. What I know, whatever question you see here, you'll be able to get the answer if you read the passage carefully. Allow me end here. I wish you good luck. I remain Teacher Monday, P4. Thank you for listening.